Never thought about being a fitness coach. I was perfectly happy being the general manager of a frozen yogurt shop. But I thought back to all my sports days and said, you know what? I really have always loved getting to lead people and lead a team. So if I get to lead a fitness session, like that sounds pretty awesome. So I'd love to give it a try. Hey there, friends. Welcome to the Beyond the Scale podcast. I am one of your new hosts, and my name is Jake Stewart. So some exciting times here at Beyond the Scale. We've been able to expand thanks to your awesome viewership. So thank you all so much for watching and loving the show, sharing it with your friends. And because of that, we've been able to add just a couple of different hosts, and I'm going to be one of them. Mainly, what I'm going to be covering is going to be fitness and fat loss and how to coach you guys through that. So what qualifies me to be in this seat and in this position? Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about my story. So like I said, my name is Jake Stewart. I'm 27 at the time of this recording, and I know that might not seem like I've had a lot of experience, but I've been a fitness and fat loss coach for almost 10 years now. I live here in Southern Orange County, here in California. Love up the sunshine. I'm a California boy born and raised. And my fitness story is just a little bit different than most, and I think you guys might get a kick out of it. So I played sports growing up. I played a lot of baseball. I played football in high school. I played basketball. I played soccer. Pretty much almost anything you can enroll in youth sports, I tried my hand at some point. So I never was a really out of shape kid. I always made sure that I was making sure that I was running a lot. I was working out a little bit, but I never was really properly taught how to work out. I was never properly taught how to eat. Going through high school in my junior year, I had the unfortunate circumstance of going through a couple of different really bad injuries. So I had over 4 concussions within my high school career. I broke my clavicle, I broke my foot 3 times, and a couple of other injuries that didn't allow me to play football my senior year. During my senior year, I kept eating like a football player, but I stopped working out like a football player. And I'm sure a lot of you guys at home know what that's like, especially if you were a past athlete. You kind of fall back into your old ways of eating as many calories as you possibly can, but you might not be working out and burning those calories. So I was definitely packing on the pounds. I put on about 30 to 40 extra pounds of weight into my senior year and then kind of starting into that freshman year of college. And I just didn't really like where I was going. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked. And so I wanted to make a change. Now, again, I didn't really know much about health and fitness. I knew the things that my football coaches and my baseball coaches had taught me. I knew running was good. I knew lifting weights was good. And I knew there was a couple of different food items that had a lot of protein that I should probably be eating. So I took it upon myself and I got into the gym. I started lifting weights a little bit more, just like I did back in my football days. And I started to see some progress, but I said, you know what? I really want to double down on this. And I did so by just eating the things I knew were super healthy. So for about a year straight, I had eggs in the morning, chicken and rice in the afternoon, and then chicken and vegetables for dinner. And I did that every single day for just about a year. Within that year span, I definitely got shredded. It was really awesome. I got down to 6% body fat at my lowest. But looking back now with the knowledge that I have, I probably wasn't in the best shape because I wasn't eating enough. I probably was only eating about 12, maybe 1,300 calories a day. And for somebody that was my body weight and my muscle mass, that was not sustainable. There was periods of time where I was like, had to hunch over because my stomach hurt so bad because it was so hungry. It was like almost eating itself is what it felt like. And so I knew that there must be a better way. Right around this time, I was working at a frozen yogurt shop, oddly enough, so that also contributed to my unhealthiness for sure. I started that job in high school. So in high school, one of the people in my class is one of the other girls in the class. She worked at a frozen yogurt shop called Golden Spoon. So if you live here in Southern California, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a really awesome frozen yogurt shop that we have. At that frozen yogurt shop, I ended up working my way all the way up to general manager of our store. In that time, we had a regular customer. So this regular customer, you guys may know if you guys are in the fit body universe at all. He's a very prominent figure. I'll tell you who it is in just a second. He would come into Golden Spoon, into my shop, every single Friday. He would get the exact same order. I still remember it to this day. It was a large salted caramel and cake batter with the most rainbow sprinkles I'd ever seen anybody put on a frozen yogurt, and that's definitely what stuck with me. I knew this guy for about 6 to 8 months. We'd become friends. We knew each other's name. Like I said, I always knew his order. We talked a lot whenever he was in the shop, and that was just about it. So that was the extent of our friendship. We never talked to each other outside of the shop. But there was one day on a Sunday, I was at my local big box gym working out, lifting weights, and we saw each other and he approached me and he said, you know what? You're awesome at customer service. You're great talking to me. You remember my order. You remember all these awesome things. We always have a good time. And now I see you in the gym. I see you in a whole different light of like, hey, you're really into fitness, it seems like. Have you ever thought about being a fitness coach? Now, at the time, no, I'd never thought about being a fitness coach. I was perfectly happy being the general manager of a frozen yogurt shop. But I thought back to all my sports days and said, you know what? I really have always loved getting to lead people and lead a team. So if I get to lead a fitness session, like that sounds pretty awesome. So I'd love to give it a try. That man who's that regular is, of course, the CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, Bryce Henson. Of course, you guys probably know who this is. And now he's made his way all the way up to CEO. But back then, he was just my location owner. And then that started me on a trajectory, which leads me to where I am today. So this all happened back in 2016 is when I started my fitness journey with Fit Body Bootcamp. I became a part-time coach, worked my way all the way up to a head coach, and I'm now even training new franchise partners here at Fit Body Bootcamp. So it's been a crazy ride, but I started this, and I think this is a pretty interesting part of the story. I started all this with absolutely no fitness knowledge. So even coming into my time at Fit Body Bootcamp, I still didn't know the ifs, ands, or buts about fitness. I didn't know a lot about nutrition. Like I said, I was going to the gym. I was doing the exercises that I knew. I was doing bench press and deadlift and all those things that we learned in our football weight room. But I didn't really know anything about, HIIT training. I didn't know anything about doing a 30-minute circuit. And I learned all that through my years at Fit Body. So going through courses like NASM, all the different Fit Body certifications and things like that we had to take over the years. And I fell in love with just working out for 30 minutes. And you know what? It saves me so much time because even nowadays, I still like to go lift weights. I still hit my Fit Body workouts, but none of my workouts ever last really longer than 30 minutes. I found out that I was wasting so much time sitting in the gym and being there for 2-3 hours a day. And that was just really eating up a lot of my time and a lot of my life. Now that I can use that time to do other awesome things and to really help my life get better and better, as opposed to just sitting in the gym and working out and working out and working out. So I absolutely fell in love with the 30-minute circuit, but something that I like specifically about Fit Body Bootcamp, and I hope that you guys can understand this, is that we tailor our workouts and we tailor everything that we do to Mrs. Jones. So Mrs. Jones is our client avatar. She's a mom. She's probably somewhere in the range of about 30 to 50 years old. She probably has a couple pounds to lose. She probably has a couple of kids. She probably works a busy schedule and doesn't have a lot of time to get in and work out. And I thought that was so awesome because I feel like that aspect of the community is completely underrepresented in the fitness space. Not a lot of people are focusing their workouts or tailor-making what they're doing to Mrs. Jones. And so I absolutely fell in love with getting to coach Mrs. Jones and getting to see her shine, or he shine too. This also, we don't just have Mrs. Jones as a Fit Body Bootcamp, we also have Mr. Jones's as well. But it was so awesome and I absolutely fell in love with it. So over the years, like I said, just kind of built my way all the way up to being the head coach of the facility and absolutely love it. So I'm excited to share this journey with all of you. Most of my episodes are going to be tailored all around fitness and fat loss and how I can help you guys. And just when you're thinking that maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about, trust me, I do. Like I said, almost a decade of experience coaching Mrs. Jones, probably like a lot of you viewers at home. So I'm really excited to be on this journey with all of you, and I can't wait for the next episode.